Buckle up, because this week Ice Cube is taking us on a wild ride filled with laughs, mishaps, and a whole lot of chaos with the 2005 family comedy, Are We There Yet? Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Danielle, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. And this week, we're talking about the 2005 comedy, Are We There Yet? But before we dive in, let's get into some housekeeping.
That was a little spooky ghost
I
housekeeping.
know. Wanted to switch it up a little. If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here are a few ways that you can.
Please write reviews and rate us. It helps us grow, shares your love of the podcast to others, and most importantly to us, because we are fueled by it. So head over to your favorite podcasting platform and leave us a review.
And while you're there, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Do you need a gift for the movie lover in your life? Check out our No More Late Fees merch at nomorelatefees.redbubble.com.
This week, we are excited to have Kai and Jim from the Rotten Treasure podcast back with us.
Welcome, y'all.
Hello.
Hello.
I literally just gave you guys a 5-star rating on Spotify because I've given you guys ratings before, like I just was like, maybe I didn't do it on Spotify. So you know what? Boom, that 4 point, whatever it is now to like 4 point, even better, whatever it is.
Yeah, we're like pretty, what is it, like a 4.6 or something? I'm like,
Yeah, it's 4 point.
One person gave you a
4.8. 4.8.
okay.
We
But
got a 3-star. It hurts every now and then, people. It hurts our feelings. You got a 5-star us and tell them we're amazing. Like
if we're not for you, just keep it to yourself.
pretty much. Yeah. I'm gonna 1-star your behavior.
Sorry, I tried doing it on Spotify, but it told me I had to listen to your podcast first on Spotify, so I can't do that.
Go do it. Well, you can do it on Good Pods. I think you can give ratings there.
you know what, Jim? It's just better. Maybe you don't talk during the episode.
But
I just listen to the Apple Podcast app. I don't use Spotify for that. I use that for music only.
Just listen to the trailer. It's like 2 seconds, and then you can leave a rating. I mean, it's not rocket science around here, boy.
I don't have time for this. I'm just going to do it through Apple Podcasts.
Well, if you want to learn more about Kai and Jim that you haven't already glimpsed in the past 30 seconds.
Oh boy, this is us. Yep.
Check them out later this week on our bonus episode as we talk about our favorite road trip films, and then go back and listen to our Daddy Daycare episode, which was the inspiration for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Jim thought Daddy Daycare was Are We There Yet? Incorrect.
They're so the same movie.
Somehow.
They're so the same movie.
Yep. I agreed with you on the last recording. I'm going to disagree with you here. You're so wrong.
It is just a movie about a man who hates children. That is all that those two movies are about.
Well, this movie, the children are legit assholes. So
Yes.
I side with Ice Cube.
Yes, very much so.
I don't think there's good guys in this movie.
Let's get into the synopsis of this movie. So, Are We There Yet? Follows Nick, played by Ice Cube, as he volunteers to drive his new girlfriend's kids on a road trip from Portland to Vancouver. What starts as a simple gesture turns into a chaotic adventure filled with mishaps, humor, and a little heartwarming growth along the way. The movie stars Ice Cube, Nia Long, Alicia Allen, Philip Daniel Bolden, Jay Moore, and Tracy Morgan's voice. It was directed by Bryant Levant, and it was written by Stephen Gary Banks, Claudia Grazioso, J. David Stem, and David N. Weiss. You can currently watch it for free on Hoopla. You just need your library card. But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
So you know the drill. Before we get into the movie, we'll reveal the rating our Y2K versions of ourselves would give. Then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with our initial rating. Our scale consists of would buy it again,
The best would play on repeat.
5-day rental,
Would watch again.
2-day rental,
It's okay, but nothing to write home about.
and same-day rental.
Eh, it's blown up ashes of a car, trash, garbage, leave it in the forest. It's awful.
They ditch a lot of cars in this movie. They ditch 2 cars and a horse.
Yeah, man. They did abandon that horse.
All right, Jim, what is your rating? Your Y2K rating?
Oh my God. What I'm gonna say the same day rental.
Yeah, 2-day rental, okay, but nothing to write home about. Same day rental, trash, just straight trash.
Oh God. Yeah, it's not like a good movie.
Okay, this is how you felt about it as a small child. Got it.
I would say it's one of those movies that's like it's entertaining enough, but it's not good, and it's also offensive in a lot of ways to me.
Hi.
I would say, younger me definitely put this at like a 2-day rental situation, right? Like it's got enough calamity from my brain at the time to be like, yeah, all right, I'll mess with this.
Jackie?
I've never seen this movie.
Even now?
Well,
Our Y2K
my
rating,
Y2K,
Jim.
I had never seen it.
Oh, were we supposed to be rating it as if we were
Yes.
in the year 2000?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't like it back then either. I saw it back then.
Well, we know Jim's answer. Great.
Yeah, the answer's still the same.
So I know I saw the movie, but I couldn't remember it. So I'm going to put it at a 2-day rating because I couldn't, like, it wasn't memorable enough for me to remember. So
Fair.
that's where
I
we
remember
are.
shelving it. That's all I remember about this movie. Putting it
All right,
back.
well, let's
I
get into
remember my
box.
friends renting it and being pissed.
Oh,
That was the movie that we rented.
well, let's look at box office numbers. We may have hated it, but not only did it do well, it spawned a sequel and a TV show. So we may be in the minority here. The movie had a budget of a range of $20 to $32 million. It made $97.9 million worldwide. And in its opening weekend, it made $18.6 million, actually. Oh. I didn't see anything from Lil Raj. Not surprised.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh.
So this is one of the first movies Ice Cube produced. He had a multi-picture deal with Revolution Studios, which got this movie started. So I think in 2003, he signed that deal and had a multi-picture deal. And one of the things I love about Ice Cube is that he never waited for studios to hire him. I mean, obviously, one of his first films was like 1991, Boys in the Hood. And then obviously we know he did Friday, which was an independent movie. Like, so he
wrote it.
Yeah. So he was making his own lane. And from him going from a rapper, a hardcore, fuck the police, NAA, to a family guy is wild business. Very good marketing. Snaps.
Get it, Ice Cube.
Yeah. It's wild when you listen to like America's Most Wanted and being like, one day this man will be in a movie where he yells at some children.
Yeah.
And talks to a bobblehead.
Right.
There's a few actors though I'm like, okay, that can pull that off. I know I was watching a thing about how, I guess, like Robert Downey Jr. being cast for Iron Man was kind of gnarly because
he was a drug addict before then.
I watched a lot of Law and Order SVU. Speaking of Ice people, Ice-T. The fact that he just was like
cop killer himself.
Did you guys see that he got pulled over? I think he had bought a new car and he was trying to go to freaking DMV to register it. And the goddamn cops pulled him over and were giving him a hard time. And I was like, where's Stabler? Where's Olivia Benson? She gonna come get your ass if you don't let him go. He been a cop longer than y'all been a cop.
Yeah.
But also cop killer.
Well,
allegedly.
It just depends on how old these cops are. Are they 30 or are they 50? If they're 50, they're
pretty young. But his boss came and was like, just let him go. Like
Yeah. Also, just you should just be able to say to the police, "Yeah, I'm on my way to get the car registered,"
right.
and then they go,
Be
"Okay,
enough.
here's a
Yeah.
warning." Like they give you a written warning. I've had that happen many times. Of course, there is a difference between me and Ice-T that might be the big factor between
Could
those
be.
two interactions. But
And with that said, before we get into cast and crew, let's hear a message from our pod pals.
There's too many Home Alones, there's too many Tremors, but I like to watch them for rotten treasure.
Hello, I'm Kai Bobby, co-host of the Rotten Treasure podcast, where I talk with my friend Jim O'Donnell and a special guest about movie franchises that arguably went on a little longer than they should have. Hey Jim, what movies do we review?
Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House.
Wait.
Home
Jim,
Alone,
Jim,
Holiday Heist.
We review more than just Home Alone movies.
Tremors, Tremors 2, Aftershock.
Do we have any guests? Do we have guests, Jim?
Scott Campbell, Robert and Donnell from Watching It, Sarah Carter.
Okay, how do people find us on the internet, Jim?
Follow us at rotten_treasure on Instagram, at Rotten Treasure on Twitter, Rotten Treasure on Facebook.
You know what? That's enough of your list. So, folks, if you still want to find us, you can listen to us on your preferred podcast app, such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Podbean.com, Google Podcasts, Listen Notes, not SoundCloud.
All right, Jackie, what we got with cast and crew?
So this movie reunites Ice Cube and Nia Long for the first time since they did the movie Friday. And they had also starred together in Boys in the Hood from 1991.
Yeah, the director said when they were thinking about who should be in the film, he automatically was like, it should be Nia Long. And they had great chemistry, so it worked out. I mean, she never played his love interest in Boys in the Hood, but definitely in Friday. I also find it very interesting that this movie was initially intended for Adam Sandler. It was, I think Ice Cube talked about it on Late Night with Conan O'Brien back in 93. Well, I don't know if it can't be 93, so I'm going to take that back. But
I like the idea of it. They don't change the script one bit.
well, actually, the director said that he looks at this movie as being like a colorblind movie. I'm sure he thought that was real
Progressive.
What's the word? Progressive back then, but
yeah, don't hold up.
But not so much. The fact that like you could tell Ice Cube made sure there were some cultural elements in here because they were disagreeing about his clothes of what Nick should be wearing.
Yeah.
And so Ice Cube said to the director, I think you're trying to get me and the Nia Long character to be on the same level or be more compatible in that way. But I think it works in the fact that we are especially visually, very different, that I'm wearing this kind of style. And so the director ended up agreeing with him.
That's funny because I thought I was thinking the whole time how fashionable he looked, because while his outfits weren't necessarily like stylish, they work so well for him. He looks exactly how he should look, and he looks great in this movie.
He's so well put together.
Yeah.
Yes, every time I see this, like my dad used to love to wear kind of similar things, and he had a few iced out chains as well, so it made me think of like childhood road trips and stuff with my dad, especially the deer scene, which when we get to
speak briefly on their chemistry, I will say you can say, given the fact that I think she got underwrote, obviously, and she doesn't have as many scenes really because of just the nature of the film, I feel she was underwrote. The fact that in the few scenes that we have them together, they still had chemistry. Yeah, kudos to that casting for that exact reason. Body language is something I read tremendously. So between the two of them, just their natural, that alone in addition also really helps.
Yeah, that's what was cool about it before you even meet the kids. It did give a vibe of a traditional rom-com, which I liked, when you just had the moments of them like at the grocery store or just, so it did give a vibe of like this is a family movie, but I would love to see them in a rom-com.
Ditto. Yeah,
I'd say that.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Oh, just another tie-in back into Friday. John Witherspoon was originally set to portray the voice of Satchel Paige, the bobblehead of Satchel Paige,
Really?
but there was
Okay.
scheduling conflicts and they had Tracy Morgan. But once I found that fact out and I was watching the movie, I could just hear John Witherspoon and I kind of feel like we were robbed for not having him be the voice. Even though Tracy Morgan was great, it was just I love
I mean,
That would have been a good choice. That would have
John
been really great.
Witherspoon would have been so much better.
Yeah.
100%.
He has such a specific voice that
Yes.
oh, I can absolutely see coming out of a bobblehead.
I've been holding this ready to. I have a bobblehead. I was so glad
come
you
on,
said
I
it.
have a Mike Schmidt bobblehead in
Yeah.
the other room.
Yeah, but I have my Randy Wolf bobblehead.
I don't know who any of those people are.
This is like a Twins player or something like that. I don't know. Someone gave it to me when I was in Minnesota.
Mike Schmidt is probably the greatest Philly to ever play. Maybe Pete Rose, but we also don't talk about that guy so much.
Is this baseball?
Baseball. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what things are. You got it. You were right.
Okay.
Was Satchel Paige a real player?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't look into that at all. Yeah.
That one I knew.
Okay.
Sorry. I mean, I know a lot of baseball players. I just had never heard of Satchel Paige.
He's one of the pioneers.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Black pioneers, by the way.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I would
saw the
say
bobblehead.
similar level as Jackie Robinson, just not nearly as famous because Jackie Robinson would have been the poster boy.
Yeah.
And then Satchel Paige would have been one of the other guys.
He died 10 days before I was born.
Oh.
Rude. Inconsiderate. Couldn't have waited.
I'm just him
Do you
reincarnated.
think
Maybe.
I was literally about to say that. Do you think you're
Knowing how I am not good at baseball at all, I'm going to say no. Probably not.
Ice Cube was originally offered to reprise his role from Anaconda in the sequel Anaconda 2, but
Electric Boogaloo.
he refused so he would be able to play Nick in this movie.
Mm,
but
good.
there
Good
is
choice.
a joke about the participation of Ice Cube in the Anaconda franchise because when he picks up Kevin and Lindsay, their nanny warns him that they'll devour him alive, a reference to Anaconda, for obvious reasons.
Again, a joke I think is equally as funny if it's Adam Sandler.
Yes.
So no, it doesn't make sense, and then they're just like, "Oh, we're so lucky that we got Ice Cube." That joke doesn't make sense.
He was in that Snake movie.
Yeah, wait a second. And he's not in the other Snake movie to be in this movie. Crazy. My favorite part of Anaconda is when he listens to a song that features himself.
I can't wait to do Anaconda.
I've never seen it.
It's so funny.
I feel like that would be a really fun movie to do live.
Yeah.
Considering you've never seen it, Danielle, and I love it so much, and it's just bonkers crazy. And John Voight has the worst accent that you've ever heard.
His Cajun accent is so funny.
It's pretty something else. Yeah. Oh my God. I haven't seen that movie in so long. That was a movie on repeat for me.
It was one of those HBO movies that like anytime it was on and someone flipped to it, like my whole family just slowly migrated to the family room and we'd sit and watch it every single time it was on.
My favorite is when they cut to John Voight and they think he's going to kill someone because he's making a face like this.
I want this episode to just be Anaconda instead of Are We There Yet?
Perfect.
Oh my God, the Anaconda eats Owen Wilson in like the first 10 minutes. And then the CGI Owen Wilson inside the Anaconda is so funny.
We need to make this live happen.
Yeah, Eric Stoltz, he gets like knocked out also within like the first 5 minutes and doesn't show up till the end of the movie. It's great. It's fantastic.
It's so good.
Well,
Okay,
we know who's doing Anaconda with us, I guess.
Yes, please.
Let me add that to the spreadsheet right now.
Yes.
While you do that, we can get started with
Yes.
the movie. So we're introduced to Nick, and we can see he likes the nicer things in life, materialistic. What kind of car was this, Jackie?
The one he purchases?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Lincoln Navigator.
Okay, it's a caddy. No, it's a Lincoln.
It's a Lincoln.
Yeah, it's a Lincoln.
Yeah.
I heard.
It's in the same, like, they're all American made. So the Cadillac version is the Escalade. There's the Lincoln Navigator, the Suburban. They're all pretty much like the same car.
Yeah.
And the cars have spinners on it. So he's got this tricked out car. We find out that he owns a store of like memorabilia, games, that kind of stuff. I guess. I don't know.
Sports memorabilia.
Specifically sports stuff, yeah. No Pokemon, no sports stuff, or no non-sports stuff whatsoever. He's very adamant about that.
Right.
Thank
And
God.
we meet his friend and I guess partner worker Jay Moore as well. And yeah, he's living the good life. And then we are introduced to what is her name?
Nia
Suzanne.
Long?
I couldn't
Suzanne,
think of what her name. I was like, I think it starts with an S.
Mhm.
So then we're introduced
Lisa
to Suzanne.
from Fresh Prince.
And her trench coat, her push-up bra, the boobs are banging, the body is banging, the body is tea. It's wonderful.
I wasn't a fan of the hair.
I think it was like a wet and wavy wig situation with some bangs. So
I think it was the bangs that like it did nothing for her.
Yeah, I don't
shape
like
her
that.
face.
It feels like a kid gave got scissors for their Barbie and just messed up their hair like a little bit. Yeah, right across. It's a rough look.
I do love Nia Long with the short haircut.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
I've always loved that. But
I mean, her and Fresh Prince.
right.
She has short hair, although
And
she
in
just doesn't have
Friday.
bangs.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he, of course, is automatically enamored, but we already are established that this man
Mhm.
fucking hates kids.
Very much so.
The way in which this movie talks about single mothers is fucking insane.
I'm sorry.
But this,
Did you have a problem with them calling them breeders? Just
I thought
Or
that
was it, oh, she's
hilarious.
divorced? She's got too much baggage for you, man.
Right.
He
That-
also called the kids cockroaches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That you
My
can't
dad-
squish specifically. And I was like, oh wow, what a line. Yeah.
My dad's favorite term for children was crumb snatchers. He used
Okay.
to call children crumb snatchers. Anywho, so he finds out right when he's going to go across the street to go talk to Suzanne, throw some game down, that she's got 2 kids. And then he's like, oh, it's a wrap. And that's where the movie should have ended.
Right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, he goes, ew, gross. A lady with children.
Cockroaches.
Bleh.
Uh,
Sorry, Jay Moore. I don't like her anymore. I know I just said I love her. She has 2 children. She is used.
Oh, Jim.
Make it worse, Jim. Keep going.
Yeah. I'm being the movie.
Yeah.
That's these lines that they actually said. Because they would have said that.
Yeah, but let's be real. They would have. There's an outtake where Jay Moore says that.
And it's also established that the kids sabotage any potential suitor
Mhm.
for the mom.
Right.
Because
their
she has
first
a
rodeo.
rule, you have to be nice to him when he walks in the door or something like that. And they're like, well, if we sabotage him out on the front step, then we're not breaking the rules. And they straight up Home Alone men.
Yes.
It is bananas what they do to this poor man.
And I'll
Mhm.
say,
Trying to have a date.
best part of the movie.
Yeah. I
Turns
had
out I
my
could have watched that for 2 hours,
yeah.
and I have watched that for 2 hours because I watched Home Alone.
Yes.
I noticed it went across the spectrum of ages because I'm watching this with my parents in their 60s, and we're all just laughing our asses off. We're just all very yeah. Just I guess we have the humor of an 8-year-old. This
They
is
didn't
great.
do anything with the glue though, and that disappointed me.
No.
They
Yeah.
just covered him in glue. They didn't like tar him and feather him kind of thing.
Yeah.
I will
Maybe-
have to say that I was these children. I was awful. I was the worst to my mom's boyfriends and to my
Danielle's-
dad's
Sure.
girlfriends.
Danielle stood at her mom's wedding,
Hmm.
and someone asked her, like,
The pastor.
the pastor asked her, "Are you going to call him dad now?" And she leaned into the microphone so everyone could hear her and said, "I shall call him Max."
That's actually very
Fair.
truthful, very honest. I think that's very true. And even the fact that you said shall, it's like you're like, let me. You could have just been like, no. You really added some like really, I don't know, like polish to that. Yeah, great.
Quick age check because most ages are appropriate for this, but I do want to see how funny this is. How old were you when this happened? Like it's just a range.
14,
Okay.
15.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah.
It was after Rena was born, so I was 15, 16,
Yeah.
around there. Yeah, I wasn't having any of it.
You were exactly like these children.
Kids are smart though. They can smell when someone's placating them and like just trying to like, don't do that. Don't talk to me. I don't know. I find most kids want to be talked to like a real whole person. Just be around me. Let me make my own assessment. Sorry, I'm mad for you.
Yeah.
Years ago because it is exhausting. Yeah.
And even when they were like, when I got older, like my dad, these poor women. I was like, I said, you do know he's got 7 kids, right? I'm just checking. Now I'm in the benefit of you. Like, this is no good. Like, he's not offering you anything. You should leave him. I promise. There's nothing good around here.
I packed you a sandwich. Here's a root beer.
Like, look, he's
Get outta
telling
here.
other women, you're like number 8 in the roster. I promise you, go
Wow.
find someone else. I said this to one of the ladies who had bought me tickets to go see The Color Purple on Broadway. One other lady took me to see Blue Note to see Etta James. And I was like, you seem like a real nice lady. You need to leave my daddy alone. You're not the one.
I'm so wrong. Let them placate you. That sounds great.
Yeah. Oh my God. Tickets to Broadway musical. Not musical. The Color Purple is not a musical.
It was the musical. It was the musical.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
All right.
So Nick and Suzanne are hanging out.
Mhm.
They're not officially dating. She wants to keep him in the friend zone because of her kids, and
Already
Yeah.
hate that.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then she has to go on a work trip. The kids are supposed to go to their dad's for New Year's. She has to go on a work trip. Nick drops her off at the airport, and she gets a phone call from the ex-husband. He's sick. He can't take the kids. She's like, I'm going to lose my job. So Nick's like, well, I'll just, he's under the assumption that he's going to drop them off at the airport.
Which he was not wrong.
No.
Mhm.
I think maybe would have been okay. So before 9/11, when I was little, my parents would send me back and forth from Florida to New York, and it was not a problem.
Mhm.
Like, shit, you could still walk through the gates back then, right?
Mhm.
But I'm guessing, after 9/11, it just was scarier to travel, and I could imagine not wanting to send children alone. And I feel like policies changed too. Like, I didn't see as many kids like by themselves anymore. Like back in the early 90s and late 80s, where they didn't give a shit about kids.
I was gonna say also a change in parenting had happened
Yeah.
by that point as well.
Yeah.
Also, see, Jim, 9/11 comes up on other people's podcasts too. It comes up on every
Just because
episode of
we're
ours.
here,
It happens on every one of our episodes. We don't
people
know
just
why.
look at us and they're like, United. I got to bring up United 93 real quick.
Why?
We don't know. It's
Well,
a
we
weird
don't know.
phenomenon. It
People
just
are like,
happens.
I have to bring up that cold Tuesday morning.
So he thinks he's agreeing to drop the kids off at the airport. And she's like, no, they're kids. You have to fly with them. So he was like, fine. And he had given the little kid, the little boy,
freaking knife, a cork, like a Swiss Army situation.
Swiss Army knife. Nothing's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure you're allowed to bring those on the airplane, at least in 2025.
My friend did it in 2024, or I'm sorry, in 2014. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because knives just have to be like the blades have to be under a certain.
Maybe now I think things have gotten more lax, but this was still so close to that time frame that I could imagine they were probably like, nah, not even a knife, not even a
just went to war.
Yeah.
Like it's still fresh. People definitely at that time would have been afraid to bring on a knife because there were stand-ups that would talk about it back then.
Yeah. These little kids were such little shits. My God. They were talking about bombs at the damn airport.
I've gone full panic because I accidentally brought a pocket knife when I was at Six Flags. And like I left the parking area, made it all the way to like getting right about to go through the metal detectors and realized I had it. And my friend's just like, oh, just tuck it in your shoe. And I did that for like a second. I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck am I doing?
Metal detector. Yeah. Like, and now it looks like you're hiding a knife.
Yeah. So then so I know that anxiety of just like, oh my God, get this away from me. So yeah, I ended up just like burying it in the woods like, nearby until getting it later, which feels still sketchy. I don't know, man. I was a young teenager. It felt like the right thing to do.
Oh, how about I was coming back from a trip from Atlanta and I had special cookies in my backpack and I totally forgot that they were in there. And so I put my bag through whatever, and they pulled my bag and was like, there. And I was like, there's nothing in my bag. You're being ridiculous. I was ready to fight this lady, right? Not remembering my special treats were in the goddamn bag. So eventually it was because she thought my toothbrush was like some sort of knife. I don't fucking know.
Oh.
So,
Modern bombs
I told
vibrate.
you there was nothing in there. And when I got to the gate and it clicked, I was like, oh my God, I almost died.
Yeah, I mean, you had the contraband dog could have got you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but now you're making me think if it's a good idea to put drugs in sex toys because people are like, "Ooh, sorry about that."
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think the TSA is worried about that. I think they see a lot of sex toys and
right
they're just like,
there.
Give me that.
I was bringing a rum cake to Florida one time for work, and I had it in a suitcase because it was in a giant box. And the guy's like, "I know it sounds really stupid, but I just need you to open the box and show me the cake." And I was like, I don't know what this is proving, but here's a cake.
I would have loved it if he's like,
okay.
It's the illusion of security.
Like,
he's like, I just love Great British Bake Off, and I'm really into treats, and just like, I just really like cake.
I just want to look at it.
It's just in the X-ray, it looks really nice. Need to be sure, and I'm not allowed to touch it.
We're looking through the machine, and it looks like there's a file in the cake.
And I'm like, he didn't ask me to cut into the cake or anything.
Right.
Just show you the cake.
Show
Here
the
it
cake.
is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go like, now eat some.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's getting weirder.
But how crazy was it that, because we never get an idea of exactly how long these two have been friends, not even dating, right?
Not dating. Explicitly not dating.
I could not imagine my mother telling me that a random ass man was going to take me to another state that without her.
Without meeting them at all. Not even like a, hey, let's feel it out. Let's have dinner with them and see how you feel about being escorted by this stranger. No, just, I'm
here to pick you up. And then when he comes to pick him up, their babysitter, she is fiending.
She is horny for
I love
Ice
that she's
Cube.
I love that she's going to Vegas with her church group. Girl about to turn up in Vegas.
100%.
I was a born again Christian for 2 years. Okay, church people get a little gnarly, all right? I did some of the dirtiest things in the basement of a church. Let me tell you.
Oh my
Like,
God.
we need an entire episode about a guy being a born again Christian for.
Don't worry about it. I just dabbled. I tried it for 2 years. It wasn't for me.
I told Jackie one of the first times I saw The Exorcist was with youth group.
Nice.
Well, they got to show the dangers.
And we went to a haunted house. So, church.
Fast and loose with the rules at church.
I just looked it up. I realized that the babysitter is Uhura from Star Trek.
Oh,
Mhm.
Michelle.
Yeah,
Nicole.
she is it.
I thought she
yeah.
looked familiar, and I was
Yeah.
like, "There's something with this lady."
Yeah, my parents clocked that right away. They were like, "I know this woman somehow." Yeah.
I like
I
Star Trek.
forgot
That's
you
Star
saw
Trek.
this with your parents.
Oh, I loved it. I sent you a video or
I
a photo.
know.
I watched this in a home theater that my parents have this big ordeal, and I loved the moment. It started, and I guess they weren't enjoying it for a minute. My dad was like, "This is more like, is it done yet?" I was like,
Like
"Oh,
the
we're
second.
in."
That's the name of the second movie.
Yeah,
It
yeah. And I just love that my dad was like, "Oh, "That's gonna be great," and then immediately the tomfoolerous like calamity, like him getting hurt thing, it's just like, "All right, I'll keep watching."
I was like someone's boyfriend watching a reality show, like standing in the kitchen, like I'm not gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
How are they gonna get out of this one?
We locked in. We were all quiet for the rest of the film. We loved it.
So they get kicked off. They're not allowed to go on to the airport. Now they're at the train. And I swear,
The train is stressful enough when you're
Mhm.
just responsible for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
why was the train to get on the train such a big gap between where the platform he had to lift them to get what was that?
Oh, that's because they pulled the stairs up.
Because they were late. Yeah.
Because they were
late.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Now,
That all
granted,
makes sense.
Let's
Mhm.
be real. That conductor should have seen three people
Right.
running at a train and going, "Yeah, come on, you still got a little time."
Mhm.
Right.
He should have recognized that. I would say this is a movie about a black man just running into white people who are holding him back. Like
Yeah,
it is
unwilling to
100% that.
assist.
Yeah.
And then this kid has his stupid little doll.
Oh yeah, he needs the cape. You can't lose the cape.
And the cape, but then it's like, so Ice Cube throws the kids on the train and then the luggage on the train, and then he gets on the train, but the kids have gotten off the train because the cape is on the ground, and then the kids are standing there arguing about how damp the cape is. And
I would have taken my belt off and beat them. I don't give a fuck.
Let's be
then-
real. That kid's on the spectrum.
Yes.
They
Oh, yeah.
say a bunch of things about it. I was like, this is a kid on the spectrum. This
Yeah.
is a
He needs
child
his
who is
things.
autistic, and he needs these things, and he needs them in a particular way.
yes.
And that's fine, but get your ass back on the train. Ain't nobody tell you to be out here.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. He
These
needs to be
kids
on that
had
train no
no
matter what.
Fear about
Mhm.
being left.
No.
No.
They get on a
times.
second train.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then their luggage is gone. Their luggage is going to Vancouver or wherever they're going, but
Right, and it's
they
just
are not.
it's not even by a seat or anything. It's just there.
Yeah.
And
This was
and also we're talking post 9/11 world. See something, say something.
Right.
Like that happens all the time on trains where where unattended luggage happens, and that would have been around that time. That's a dangerous thing.
It is.
Yes.
I feel like this is the section or one of the sections of the film that had like the most compressed amount of anxiety, just like in such a small window of time. Like I know it gets worse, but at the same time, a lot going on in that moment. Yeah.
I did laugh when he was running through the train backwards, and so it's just him standing. It looks like he's standing in place, but he's running through a train.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't go the train now.
Train
'Cause
leaves.
These kids are wildin', and so now they're gonna drive. And these motherfuckers, I will say he should have made sure that they checked again to make sure that they peed, because kids are notorious for that.
Mm-hmm.
But then he's got to run the kid to the bathroom.
That was probably the only scene where I actually slightly chuckled.
Mm-hmm.
Was the kid just balled up and Ice Cube running him through the gas station? Other
and
than
him
that,
peeing on that lady, like, first and foremost, why are you hitting him? You see he's with the child, and clearly the child has to pee. You should common sense. You know?
as a full grown adult should recognize what's going on right there.
And it's also wild for you to just automatically start hitting this man
Once
And I
again,
was like,
I'm
I
gonna say
thought
it.
older
This
white ladies
was.
were supposed to be scared of black men. Like, what are
Mhm.
you doing?
I was gonna say once again. I think this is. I think if this was a white guy, that would be a weird. That would be. They. That lady would have been like, "Oh, of course this is what's going on." But
Carry
because it's a
on.
black man, she's like, "I have to
Mhm.
hit this man."
Right.
Controversial opinion. I think every adult should have to pee their pants once just to know the anxiety of knowing that situation. Just it should be mandatory. It's like you have to wait tables and pee your pants. Now you can be an adult. Go ahead.
And then somehow the kids are they lock him out of the car and they joyride in a circle driving that shit. And it's
Yeah.
just like, let me tell you, that first scratch that little boy did to my car,
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that wasn't a
Uh-huh.
scratch. That was
That was a
fucking
dent.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, $400, no
paint.
doubt. That's metal work he has to do. That's a
Uh-huh.
lot of money.
That car was so fucked up. And
That's a
then
$60,000 car.
and then when they pull a joyride situation by telling the truckers
Yeah.
that they've been kidnapped. And so then the truckers get their network together and they're like, "Oh, we need to help them out." So you help them by taking your fucking semi and
Uh-huh.
squishing the
Yeah.
car with
Yeah.
the children in it against
A
the
bridge.
ramp.
Yeah.
The what do you call it?
Well, they can't be
Oh,
they can't be kidnapped if they're
divider.
dead, Danielle. Like if they're problem solved.
They were pushing him up against the end after a bridge. They're gonna just kill it. They'll be like, "Help me! All right, I'll help these children by killing them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna murder some children today so that they don't get kidnapped. Great, good job, guys."
And then would would a 2000s movie be complete without a complete racist caricature of an Asian man?
Oh, I hated it so much.
Oh,
you
It
didn't
was
enjoy
so
that?
Super bad.
It was so bad. I don't even want to repeat any of the things that happened. It was
Nope.
just shitty. It was
Mhm.
shitty. It was shitty. It was shitty.
Very
So
in at the time, and honestly, it still gets its resurgence from time to time in certain
Yeah.
films.
Oh
So
yeah.
Ugh.
ridiculous.
I will say I got to the part where he was jumping Suzanne's car at the beginning of the movie and he
Mhm.
got electrocuted, and I was like, I hate this movie.
yeah.
If
I
this
did
is
see
the
that
way
part.
where you're going, I hate everything that's about to come. And I wasn't wrong.
I did immediately look up, should you jump a car in the rain?
No.
And I was like, can you do that? And then all the things were like, yeah, you'll be fine. Don't get hit by lightning. It was the
Right.
advice.
So
I was like,
many
yeah.
things.
Also, yeah, he puts it on there and he gets shocked immediately. What's going on? The car's not on. We know it's not on. What's shocking him? Come on, guys.
Jim,
Let's be real.
I also like that your phone is set for its Google like things to just give you responses like a cool like older brother who's indifferent to your safety. Yeah, you're good. You're gonna be
Hey,
fine, man.
you're fine. Did you ground it? You're good. You're gonna be cool, dude. Anyway, you want to watch? You want to watch The Grudge?
I do think the kids freaking leave him again. They go on that another. It reminded me of the books I used to read when I was little called the Boxcar Kids. They get on
Yeah.
the boxcar and they're like, "Deuces, we're going," because they have mapped out where their dad is. Because the whole thing that this happened of their dad like being sick, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So when he conveniently looks to his left and there's horses.
Mm-hmm.
But it does give plane, trains, and automobiles vibe because literally taking every form of vehicle, mode of transportation you could possibly think of.
Again, he ditches that horse.
It
does
was
that
a very fake ass horse.
Which part?
Danielle, you're making me wish it was like we got to see him on a Segway, on rollerblades.
Yeah.
He's on a razor scooter for a little bit.
Well,
I gotta get these kids to Canada
Yeah,
on
like,
my
where are their
Heelys.
passports? Like,
Yeah.
I thought about that immediately when he was like, "Who wants to go to Vancouver?" I was like, "Do these children have passports?"
Yeah, I was gonna say what year
was
is
it? Vancouver? Was it Vancouver, Canada, or Vancouver in the States? Because there's Vancouver in
It's in Washington.
Oregon, Washington.
So it's definitely Canada because they mention going over the border. They conveniently skip the part where they go over the border, but he says to her at some point, "We had some trouble at the border." That was an excuse he made. And also, a drive from Portland to Vancouver, Washington, that's like an hour drive. She's not taking a plane between those two places.
Gotcha. Because I was like, oh, this going to Vancouver, that's not long.
Yeah.
My bad. They went over the border. So they go to their dad's, and this whole scene, right?
Mhm.
I like that they had their umbrella still. It's raining and they're looking through the window and all you see is the dad with another woman and a baby and he's just like lifting the baby,
Mhm.
throwing the baby around, loving on the baby, and they're just so sad. And Nick comes and finds them and he's like, damn,
Wow, he's
now
sick
he has
with
some
bouncing
empathy.
baby boy.
Well, wait, what's your take on this? What did you feel about that scene?
I feel like any kid who's had their parents divorced and
Mhm.
their dad has another kid or has another family,
Yeah.
there is definitely that feeling of abandonment. There's that feeling of like, and when they were like, oh, our parents are going to get back together, most kids who are from, especially if they're young, they all have that fantasy that their family's going to get back together.
Mhm.
And that's why they hate the other person. So it was very sad. I felt this
Yeah.
to an extent.
It's oddly enough that I'm watching this movie with my parents who are on the verge of divorce.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, they've been best friends since 14 and 16, but they should have gotten divorced like 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Your dad's watching this and is like, I could be happy in a Folgers commercial? That's crazy.
You said that actually, yeah. No, but I definitely had a heart, not even, I mean, even that unrelated, just there is that immense amount of, in addition to them saying, like having that hope that they were going to be back together, just, yeah, I got a little teared up. Like it's probably like the softest hearted moment that I had in the film. Cause yeah, no one needs to see that. Like that's rough.
It was the sad part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was. And we skipped a little part where they were kind of bonding in the diner, right?
Oh yeah.
So Nick was like talking to them and getting to know them. And so there was a little bit of a moment. And so after they see their dad with his new family, I can't even remember how did Nick just go to the house because it was in the GPS?
Yeah.
Mm.
And so he goes and finds them and comforts them. So they start kind of building trust in this really odd set of circumstances.
Yeah, he was like, my dad left me. Crazy, right? Anyway, you want to eat some chocolate?
Want some chocolate cake? But I do like that he is able to be vulnerable with them and says, what he went through and how it made him feel. And it does open the kids up to feel like they're not by themselves in it. But then immediately gonna call him the boy, he starts to have an asthma situation happen. So they realize that his pump wasn't working or was out. So now they gotta go find a pharmacist. It's like, when will this man get a break?
Oh, this video game that they're playing with all these fetch quests.
Yeah.
Also, how convenient that the action figure's foot pops open so he can store his inhaler in it? Question
That is
mark?
pretty cool. Yeah.
That was a selling point, actually.
Yeah.
Now with in albuterol.
Yeah. I used to keep band-aids inside of my talk boy. Hey, wait, no one does this? Everyone. No.
So now he's told that the pharmacist has gone home because it's New Year's Eve. Or no, he's gone to a party. So he shows up at this party. The pharmacist is dressed as a clown.
What a
And-
wacky situation.
Yep. That's all pharmacists do.
No,
In his
Kai, you
spare
don't
time.
understand. That's what's wacky is because a pharmacist would never be a clown.
I do love the scene where she's singing Respect.
Mm-hmm.
It comes
was
out of
fun.
nowhere.
Nowhere.
Right.
She's like, oh, we need a distraction. Let me do karaoke.
She's like, hey, I need to audition for School of Rock. It's coming around the corner. I can feel
Right.
it. It's gonna happen.
Did you
Just
guys-
kidding.
Did
It
you
already
guys
happened.
see that the two kids from School of Rock got married?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it was this week or last week. And
What?
they were all like pretty much the whole cast of the kids were there.
Except
It
for the
was super
drummer.
cute. Well, he passed away, R.I.P.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Where's Jack Black? What's he doing?
Jack Black wasn't there, and Miranda Cosgrove. I didn't see any pictures of her, but the rest of the kids were there, and I just
That's
thought
great.
that was super sweet.
Yeah,
Even
it was
she
really
was.
nice.
Yeah.
I don't know like where it stands for everybody, but for me, that was like a special little movie out of nowhere. Like it really did just have its own energy to it that
Yeah.
it felt really unique and special.
I loved it. Can you replace my American Beauty choice with
School of
Rock? Because that's a much better
unanimous
choice.
yes.
That's a much better choice. I love School of Rock. I love when the one lady goes, "Do you want a hug?" That's great. And when I say that one lady, I mean Joan Cusack.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of her name.
So now the sorry. The truck drivers catch up with them, right? And they're like, those are those kids that are getting stolen. We must protect them at all costs. And start stealing the children. So they are in fact the kidnappers.
And I think the car had blown up by this point.
And there was a deer.
Which they ditch in the woods.
Yes.
They ditched the car in the woods.
The deer, so they said in the beginning, the deer in the combat scene was meant to be real, but it was almost impossible for the production to perform the scene without actually hitting Ice Cube. So they had to CGI it.
Yeah,
really? They had to CGI. They couldn't train a deer to make a wacky face and punch and punch Ice Cube. That's crazy.
Was it the same folks who did like the Santa Claus deers? Because it had a very, very similar vibe. Yeah.
Or Kangaroo Jack, the kangaroo. Yeah.
It felt very much so kangaroo boxing. Like, let me get him. Come at him. Like,
let me at him. This deer's giving a real why I oughta.
I don't know, like the amount of physical. I was surprised the amount of physical comedy.
Yeah.
Or that Ice Cube went through in this movie. And Nia Long, in an interview with the behind the scenes making the movie, she was just saying that one of the things she loves about him, especially in this role, is that he is not afraid to make fun of himself and be silly, which, yes, this movie isn't perfect, but I did appreciate that.
I get the vibe that if I would love to win a day with Ice Cube. Like I'll say it. Like I feel like we would have a wonderful time. What, Conan got a day with him?
Conan and Kevin Hart did like they like drove around for a little bit in LA. It's a really funny clip. Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. I just feel like we'd have a good time. I feel like
he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I'd go on a lot of different adventures. We can go sailboating, we can go bumper karting, we could just have a nice chat. I'm okay with just talking. We could. I don't want to ride horses. He abandons horses. I don't. And it's the one thing I'd be afraid of. Like, don't leave this horse, man.
Yeah, I do say that. I did listen to America's Most Wanted, and that is a very anti-Semitic record. If you ever listen to it, so
don't do that.
I don't know. That was 30 years ago. Who's to say how anti-Semitic he is nowadays? But
I do want to ask: is this the scene, by the way, where he goes? What did I do? Why is this happening to me? Because I don't know why, but that line made me laugh. Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, fair question. Fair question.
Yeah. You were just living your life. You owned your own business. You just bought this brand new car. You're doing well for yourself. And now you're fighting with a deer on your way to Vancouver.
He was making $60K in 2005.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. No, I feel for him. I also was kind of just like, how did it go so bad so fast?
Granted, it is weird that he was like, why is this happening to me? And he looks at the kids and goes, it's your fault, you children. You children are everything that's wrong in this life. After they just saw their father have a new kid and clearly are sensitive about whether or not they have worth in this world.
It's poor babies. They did cry. They did.
He was
cry.
like, I'm these kids' new father figure. You guys suck. I'm gonna be exactly like their old father. I'm gonna ditch you kids in the woods like a horse.
Jim, did you write the sequel? Because I think you're coming up with some good lines.
Are you done yet? Are we? I can't wait to see how many things they ditch in the woods. And are we done yet? I'm not gonna watch it, but
So I think we're just about in Vancouver over the border, and they finally make it. Suzanne is happy to see her kids there? Question mark. She should know, but she should be surprised because they were supposed to be at their dad's house, right? No,
they definitely were not.
Sorry,
No.
I was living in the first timeline.
Yeah, in fact, the movie is about how she specifically needs him to not take them there.
Yes,
because he's quote unquote sick with baby fever.
She at that point I think had some sort of phone call thing where she was like, "Where the fuck are my kids?" Yeah.
Was that the dad's kid? I know it's implying it, but like I feel like if you have an ex-wife and you're a shared parent, you're doing like a parenting thing, a co-parenting thing, you should tell them that they have a.
But
you should tell at least the mother.
He hasn't even seen the kids since Labor Day.
Yeah,
it is now Christmas time, so he ain't.
But he would have known that there was a tiny.
I'm not surprised by this at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This also does imply that the children went to that house, saw a very pregnant woman, and was just like, "Dad's dating this fat lady. I don't get what's going on. I do not understand what's going on here." Let's go back to our Folgers commercial.
Yeah, because I feel like they would have known if an aunt was having a baby. Like that was definitely, and probably implied that he was probably cheating on his ex-wife as well. If the divorce was fresh. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's trash. And it's great that it seems like Nick has bonded with the kids and the kids really care about him now. But the funniest part about this is that like they are not together.
No.
No.
Not one bit. They are explicitly not together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he is just committed multiple crimes, taken children not only across state lines but country lines, and he's been zoned. Like I don't. Why? Like she straight up told you we just need to be friends.
No, the 2024 version of this is going, cool. I think I'm in an emotional place where I see you as more friends, so I don't think I'm in a position to watch your kids.
I will say they do imply when he makes the decision to take the kids that he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart rather than for ulterior motives because of the way the music's played and the language of film. It's implying that he's doing it because this is his first step into being a good guy because he's a bad guy.
He's doing the holding out hope thing. He's just like, well, if I just keep sticking around, if I do this, then it's gonna be fine. I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think I realized why they left out the scene of them at the border, and it's because of what you just said, which is, you tell me they got to the border and the border didn't go, whose kids are these?
Yeah.
Yep. And he was just like, some lady I'm friends with. And they're just like, all right, coming to Canada.
Yeah. Welcome to Canada.
Do you have any lettuce? I don't care.
And at the party, doesn't she kind of tell him, like, don't talk to me anymore? Am I making that up? Did I miss the whole end of the movie?
So there's a very wacky part where the police go, ma'am, did you give this guy permission to watch your kids? And she said, yes, but it was a mistake. And the cop definitely had to be like, all right, I didn't know about that part. I don't care about your personal squabbles. I just need to know whether or not you gave this guy permission.
And the kids are like, at this point, they're invested. Nick's invested. And so they have to be like, no, he like helped and he got
that with our shit.
He tickled me.
Help me. Oh no. And he stalked a pharmacist to get me a new inhaler. So
we're good. We're cool. I think you should give him some Punan, Mom. He is worth it.
Mom? Fuck this guy.
We give you our blessing.
Right.
I know it's a movie and I really shouldn't be complaining too much, but I felt like the forehead kisses and I love you guys was a little bit too much. Like it just, it's a
They
No,
little,
I'm fine with that.
yeah, it
trauma
just,
bonded
I
a
guess.
lot.
I know they hung out for like 6 hours, but like, and not much longer than that, but still.
Guys, I think I hate children. I think they're gonna just discover that I think I hate children.
Oh, you should meet Nia Long, and that'll change.
Nia Long will change your life.
Yeah, she would for sure.
I do have a philosophy that I don't automatically like children just because they're children.
hmm
Like, even when someone has a baby, I'm like, I have to get to know this baby because what if this baby's an asshole
Yep.
and I don't want to be forced to like this baby?
To
So,
be fair, a baby, they don't have personalities yet. They're all on factory default. So I think it's okay to like all babies, but when you get to like a 10-year-old, oh, it's on. Those kids have
Well,
full personalities. I'll throw a football at one of them. I don't care.
that's what I was going through. Well, I was home for the holidays. I had to watch my nephew for the first time ever. He's now 10. I've never watched him for more than a day, and I was in charge of him for over 24 hours. And that was gnarly. I had to be like, oh, let's find out if I like my nephew. Turns out he's pretty all right.
Jackie, are we done with this movie?
Oh,
we
yeah, sorry.
are.
Yeah, sorry,
That
we did
was,
it.
are we done? Are we done yet?
Are we done?
Are we there yet?
Oh, although we did miss the part where they finally kiss each other, and they kiss for an uncomfortably long time for
They
there being
do.
other people in the
They
room.
do.
They kiss for like 30 full seconds, and I was like, "There's children in the room. You guys gotta stop." Like, put the
All
kids
right.
in the bathroom for a little bit.
Let's see if there's any other fun facts that we missed.
Vomit. For the
Mhm.
vomiting scene, an animatronic of Philip Daniel Bolden's likeness was created to achieve the effect of the fake vomit shooting out of its mouth, and the vomit was a mix of vegetable soup, milk, and Fruit Loops.
Gross.
Yeah, that was gnarly. That was a gnarly vom.
Gross.
Apparently, the name of the movie in Latin America was
Uh-huh.
Quieren Volverme Loco, which
Mhm.
is They Want to Drive Me Crazy. Accurate.
hmm
Accurate. And
Who do they think they are? Yeah.
sequel was called Una Casas Patas Arriba, a messy house. Not sure about that one.
No.
And then it
No.
accurate. I hope that every Spanish movie ends with the word accurate.
And sorry, a TV show, Are We There Yet? From 2010 is based on this film and its sequel created by both Ice Cube and Ali Leroy.
hmm
Terry Crews, who stars as Nick Persons, was initially excited for the TV version as it gave him the chance to headline his own show. He grew to despise the show because of its crushing workload, dull scripts, and the general apathy of everyone involved.
Damn.
Wow.
I love when Ice Cube was asked about why he picked the like subject matter for essentially the TV show. He was saying there was a lot of blended families now,
hmm
and women feel like they just they feel like just because it didn't work out with the first guy, they don't want to just stop. So they're out there trying new relationships. They never really been explored as much as when new families come together on Black television. This is a good way to do it. Everybody loved the movie. Are we there yet? Knock, knock. We did not. I love the movie. And the TV show didn't do well. So, yeah.
And on the train, Kevin asks Lindsay if Nick can catch them, and she replies, maybe 10 years ago. This is a reference to Friday from 1995, also starring Ice Cube and Nia Long, in which Ice Cube's character Craig Jones can't keep up with Lil Chris.
No, it's a reference to the fact that he played baseball 10 years ago. Come on, God. Come on, IMDb facts. That's such a strong. IMDb facts are so BS. There's so many times. This is my tirade, by the way. There's so many that are like, you get to a point where it's just like, did you know that Ice Cube was in another movie? Isn't that crazy? And you're like, shut up. That's not a real fact. You don't understand the movie.
I do love that they make a shout out to Taye Diggs in the movie where she delusionally says that Nick is better looking than Taye Diggs because Nia Long, obviously, she was in the Best Man movies with Taye Diggs. So
Seen that in a long time. Yeah, dang.
Non-fact for Jim. The real actors weren't used for the risk scenes in Nick's truck because many of the scenes could be dangerous for the two
Yes.
child actors.
Yes. A child at that age shouldn't be sitting in the front seat. I literally had to make sure my nephew sat in the back seat. He's like a small child. What are we doing?
Oh, crazy. This is all so nuts. Oh my God. Did you guys know that movies get made?
all right. Well, before we go into the ratings, why don't you guys remind everybody where they can find you and your
Absolutely.
podcast?
So you can go on Facebook and you can go type in Rotten Treasure, just 2 words together, no space needed, and you'll find us. You can also go and do the exact same thing on X. And if you go to Instagram, you could do rotten_treasure and you will find all of my fun little Photoshops of stuff. You can also just, I don't know, find us on the street and tell us that you didn't like any of the Land Before Time like episodes because there was 14 of them and we clearly didn't enjoy ourselves either.
Find me on Tinder. Find me on Tinder, match with me, tell me that I'm a piece of shit, and tell me I'm scum, and we'll go out.
Handles,
Sorry.
Danielle?
I know, but I'm just thinking that this man literally just told everybody his kink. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, Red Note. I don't fucking know where we're at this point because we're in the future right now. Apparently, we are at No More Late Fees on all of those platforms.
YouTube.
All
We
right.
need followers on YouTube.
Yes,
Please.
YouTube is the most important. All right, present day ratings. Let's do it.
Yeah, Jim, go.
Well, my present day rating is the same as my other one because I didn't understand what we were doing the first time around. But it's a same day rental.
All right, Kai,
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to join the same day rental club.
Jackie,
Same day rental for me.
and for me, it's a 2-day rental.
Ooh, gonna give it a chance. You're gonna watch it again? You think?
You never know.
Okay, okay.
Saying it's fine is definitely like a perfectly normal statement to say about this movie.
You know what, guys? Let's meet up 10 years from now today, and let's watch. Let's
Just every
watch.
10
Let's
years.
commit to watching. Are we there yet? And see where we stand.
Maybe
I'll be
it'll
dead.
change.
I'll be dead by then. I don't plan on making it, and just because of this, I'm not gonna make it.
If you believe Are We There Yet is a cinematic masterpiece, we want to hear from you. Hit us up at 909-601-6653. Twat us at the Twitters, hem us at the threads, and you could be featured on a future episode.
Join us next week as we cover the classic Baps. I'm very excited about this one.
I am too. And Jim and Kai, a pleasure as always.
As
Ditto.
always.
As always, I love coming on this podcast. It's great.
more
Thank you so much.
Kai
I
than
like you guys.
Jim.
Well,
I
yeah,
have a great time.
because I'm great. Also,
Kai is
everybody,
lovely.
word of mouth is amazing. I know I'm doing this on your podcast. Word of mouth is amazing. So when you want to encourage people, like if you really want people to love this podcast, literally send them the link to the YouTube and be like, yo, check this out. That is my favorite way to actually get people to listen is I tell my friends in person about your podcast. That's how you do it, people. So I love these. I love this podcast. Do it. You listen to this podcast. Love it harder. That's how we're going to get through this.
And if you don't, come to Philadelphia and fight me. Match with me on Tinder and fight me.
What is going on, man? We're going to talk about this.
Jim needs an emergency therapy session.
I already had one. I had one a week ago. We don't need to talk about it.
Aw. Yeah.
No, love you guys. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
We
This is
love you
great.
guys so much.
And as always, be kind and rewind.